Something on your mind you wanna talk about. Slip in Brandon's tub and talk it out. It's Hot Tubs, Hot Takes. Hot Tubs, Hot Takes.
Hey there, welcome to Hot Tub Hot Takes, the Socratic Soaking Symposium. I am your host. And today we are with a guest. Aria, can you help me out? Tell me who it is? Cool. We are with Celia Cunningham. Celia, welcome to the tub.
Hello. Thank you for inviting me to the tub.
You're very welcome. Now, it's interesting. I have never met someone for the first time and having the first time I met them be in a hot tub. This is now that first.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cool.
So, tell me a little something about your life over the past week and a half.
Over the past week and a half, I've eaten 3 bagels this morning.
What?
And so that's a big thing. I love eating bagels. I always try to get a new record for how many bagels I can eat in one sitting.
This morning you were trying to get the record? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah. I brought some bagels today, but I should have gotten you guys a dozen, but there's less than that in the bag right now.
Because you ate 3 of them?
Yeah,
Okay.
They're good. And yeah, otherwise, I'm trying to think of other good food that I've eaten in the past 2 weeks.
Oh, it's just food themed.
That's my priority right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aria, where's that note card? You came in with a hot take, and interestingly enough, it's bagel themed. Bagels are a prevailing theme in your life right now, a motif that is prevalent within your psyche.
Yes.
So your hot take is bagels are better than donuts.
Yes.
I mean, it's literally so hot. I'm dripping sweat.
Me too, actually.
Yeah, and I want you to give me like a 1-minute opening statement about why you're so strong set on that belief.
Well, for those who don't feel it in their heart already, I would say that bagels are just tastier. They're better for you. They have a rich history, and they're not sellouts like donuts are. So I prefer bagels any day of the week over donuts.
Okay, a lot to unpack there, but go deeper for me into why you just called donuts a sellout.
Oh, because donuts, anybody can make donuts. There's no secret recipe for donuts. You can take a pile of sugar, put a flour on top of it, and call that a donut, basically. It's just any cakey substance you can get from, Kroger for 79 cents. You can whip it up, and you can make a donut no problem. Everybody and their mother has tried to make donuts, and it's too easy. There's no skill involved. And, bagels, on the other hand, like I said, there actually used to be a union for bagel making in New York. There's like this bagel bakers union. It's like an honored tradition, like a secret recipes, passed down through families. And there's only a select few manufacturers nowadays too, even. So, and the ones that do make bagels, they're like revered by people. They're honorable,
So what I'm hearing this first argument is that the intricacies and the history and the intention that goes into a bagel makes it better than a donut.
There's a family of people in Montreal who've been making bagels like forever, and they claim to be the bagel capital of the world. One of their kin ended up being an astronaut working for NASA, and so when he went up to the International Space Station, I believe in 2008, technically he's a Canadian, but he works for NASA, and he got to go up on the ISS on behalf of the United States of America, and he brought 2 dozen bagels, maybe 1 dozen bagels. I forget how many bagels it was, but he brought the Montreal kind into space. There's nobody who would even dare to bring a donut into space. So I think that's another piece of evidence lending itself towards bagels are better than donuts.
What if someone were to say to you, maybe I'm not saying it to you, but if someone were to say to me to say to you that the rush of dopamine that they get when the donut hits their taste bud is so much more satisfying than when the bagel does?
I would challenge that because donuts are a fleeting item. It's just like a fleeting joy. It comes and it goes into your life so quickly. You don't expect donuts anytime. Usually donuts are a nice treat when somebody's trying to schmooze you over. You okay?
It's
there?
really bitter.
The tea?
Yeah, it's horrible.
This is bitter.
I'm really sorry.
Okay. Yeah. So have you ever had a bitter donut too? Because the variety, you're only happy when you have a good donut because it doesn't taste horrible. But sometimes you get a horrible donut, Have you had that before?
I've had bad donuts and bad bagels.
Oh, well, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
I think my expectations are higher for bagels overall, so maybe that's part of it. But I would say that, yeah, in addition to the taste bud experience, there's also this sort of the presentation of the donut and the expectation, the anticipation of eating a bagel. It's just up a notch. It's higher. When I know there's a bagel waiting for me around the corner, I think back on this whole experience, and then I start salivating. When I hear a donut's there, I gotta think, oh, I gotta go get my toothbrush because I'm gonna get a cavity after this. Like,
really? That's what you think?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And oral hygiene is really important. So.
Yeah. Do you think most people, when they're about to eat a donut, they're thinking about cavities?
I wouldn't say so. Probably not.
So is this argument just for you, or is it for a universal truth?
Universal truth.
What would you say if I kind of flipped the script on this and I just said, fuck it, let's do lox on donuts and buttercream frosting on bagels?
I'd say try it out. See how it works for you. Go for it.
Oh.
And then I'm going to put money down that you're going to come running back to the bagel camp after you try that
So
out.
I'm gluten-free. So does this argument even apply to me?
Oh, you're in a special little subset of people who have not enjoyed bagels.
No, I've
their
enjoyed
full
them,
lives.
but I've just
Oh,
had
yeah?
bricks in my stomach.
I'm so sorry. I really, that's a terrible condition to have.
Yeah, I'm mourning it.
Some donuts have gluten in them too. Are you concerned when you have a donut that?
Oh, I don't eat either. I don't eat
okay.
sugar,
You steer clear of
gluten,
all of it.
dairy,
Yeah.
anything. I don't eat.
You don't eat. Period.
I haven't eaten in like 7 days.
So long. This teenage
And I feel the
breakfast.
best I've ever felt.
So for the rest of us who don't have a physical limitation for consuming bagels, I'd say that for us are gluten tolerant people, I'd say that everybody should be pro bagel and anti donut.
But okay, so it's a pro and anti, but what if they want to like make them like meal specific? Like what if we were to come to an agreement, could we come to an agreement that bagel is better for breakfast and donut is better for dessert?
Have you ever had a really good bagel that kind of counts as a dessert though too?
Like what?
Like a blueberry bagel?
Yeah, those are really good.
Oh my God, just the smell when you get a really warm blueberry bagel and it just like wafts upward. You can
Better than like a nice deep fried donut with like a jelly interior mixed with like sprinkles and maybe some cacao nibs.
Yeah, no, that's just sugar. That's just a big pile of sugar. You can try like the donuts with other ingredients in them, but it's just like the Wild West. There's no rules or regulations, and everybody has these different preferences on it that really, it's like a ship wandering in the night is the evolution of donuts.
Wow. Okay, so I guess I'm curious to if that kind of like analogy of the donut being like the Wild Wild West correlates with the personality of one who would like donuts. So what would it suggest about someone if they were to look at you and say, I'm a donut person all the way? What would automatically come to your mind about that person?
I'd say they have poor judgment and that they're okay with having things that taste bad in their mouth really often.
And what would that suggest about them?
That they're not somebody I really want to be friends with if they can't make smart decisions about what they're eating.
So what we're coming to terms with is that people who eat donuts are incapable of making smart decisions.
Yeah, I'd say that's one piece of evidence to support that claim. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I'm not a saint either. I'm no Einstein or anything. I make bad decisions all the time. So I'm hoping that, people can find bad things about me and work around it, and just be a better
what would
human.
be one thing they could find?
Oh God, there's so many things. I stopped looking left and right when I cross the crosswalks. I just follow other people when they go across crosswalks, and I just trust them. But they could be idiots too, and I should really look out for myself in that situation.
So could we say that people who prefer bagels are incapable of looking both ways when they cross the street?
That's a generalization. I'd say that I would ask that question. There's probably a correlation there. Maybe based on data set of one, but that's a really small sample size.
But
logic doesn't follow.
Willing to explore it further?
We can try. We can ask other bagel enthusiasts and see if they look both ways before they cross the street.
Okay, so I think what we've come to out of this is that it may just be that people who prefer eating bagels might make really good decisions about what they eat, but really poor decisions about their safety when crossing the street.
That's plausible, yeah.
I have been your host. This has been a guest. You've been a viewer, and we'll see you in the tub next week.